Hello everybody. As you know that we were discussing about organizational change models and we have covered many models. So today we are back here with another model, that is the grief model. Okay. Now in this model, the change grief model, this actually we'll be discussing a curve in this that is also known as the grief curve. Okay, that is based on a model that was originally developed in 1960s by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross to explain the grieving process. Okay, since then it has been widely utilized as a method of helping people understand their reactions to significant change or upheaval. Okay, so we'll be covering 5 stages in this process, okay, in this curve. So let's get started with this model of change. Now we all know that that you can spend huge amounts of resources to employ a change in system and process, but even if it makes employees lives easier, and if even if it is going to benefit the whole company, there will always be that opposition factor, right? So these kind of oppositions or these kind of disruptions in the flow can carry on for months, and and it can even create counterproductive problems. But if you are armed with the right knowledge, managers can see the challenges before they arise. Okay, and then they can guide the process along the path of least resistance. Now, the change curve is a very powerful model to understand the stages of personal and organizational transitions. Okay, it can help managers to predict how their teams will react to change within the company. Okay, now if the managers knows that how their teams will react to change, so they can make sure their colleagues have the help and support they need. Okay, so coaching with the right style can assure that the transition from resistance to acceptance is smooth, and the teams and company can reap the true benefits of a change in systems or processes. Okay, so we'll be seeing the 5 stages, right? The very first stage that we are going to cover is the denial stage, sorry, denial stage. The very actually in this curve you can see that the employees were very stable at the starting. Then this with the knowledge that the change is going to come in their organization, they start to immobilize. Okay, once they were like clear with all the things, they were stable in their companies, they were stable in the organizations. Okay, with the knowledge that change is coming in their organization, they start to immobilize. Okay, and the very first in the beginning, the team members, they have a denial. Okay, on the change, team members, in this team members now maybe they are in a shock and defensive in relation to announced change. They may not be able to digest the fact that they will have to adopt to something new. It can bring about a dip in productivity and the inability to think and act. Now, after the shock takes place, the person may cling to the past and move forward like nothing has changed. But in the most extreme cases, it is seen that they may remain in state of denial for a long time and lose touch with the reality. Okay, so the coaching advice given in this type in this stage is that during this phase a manager should help employees understand why the change is being made and what's in it for them. Focusing on face-to-face communication, you can just have a face-to-face communication and you can simply listen to your colleagues concerning will ease the process, obviously. Okay, don't overwhelm them with the information, but rather release it gradually, and consider that one-on-one discussions rather than a meeting could be a better way to break the news and avoid groupthink. Okay, so this is a type of a coaching advice, I must say, that communicate with your employees. Okay, and release the information gradually. Okay, and consider that one on one discussions are obviously better than a meeting. Okay, it could, it could be a like better way to break the news and avoid groupthink, because groupthink will often lead to the group shift also. So the very first stage was denial. The second stage is anger. Now, when the realization finally hits, now employees or workers may begin to feel fear for what lies ahead, and some team members, may even become very angry, and they are full of resentment. So, anger can be manifested or expressed in many ways. We know that. Now, while some take out the anger on themselves, other may direct it towards other around them. So you can expect those in these phases to remain irritable. The employees may be frustrated and they'll become more short tempered also at times. So the coaching advice given in this stage is for the organizations. This stage, is actually called the danger zone also. Okay, so if the stage is badly managed, the organization may descend into crisis or a chaos. So this stage needs careful planning. This stage needs careful preparation. As someone, as someone responsible for change, you should prepare for this stage by carefully considering the impacts. Okay, carefully considering the impacts and objections that people may have. Listen and watch very carefully during this stage so you can respond to the unexpected. Okay, also understand that this is just a natural reaction, and with time, with the passage of time, it shall pass away and make way for acceptance. Okay, so at this stage, in the second stage of anger, the stage that is known as danger zone, if this stage is not managed properly, if the stage is badly managed, remember that organization may descend into crisis. A chaos will be created. Okay, anybody who is responsible for change, you should prepare for this stage very carefully, considering that the impacts, objections that people, then obviously there will come many impacts, there will come many objections that people may have. Listen to them very sincerely. Okay, listen to them, watch your employees carefully in this stage. Have a watch on them. Okay, because they will do something that is unexpected from them. Okay, and whosoever is watching them, they should keep this thing in mind, that this is just a natural reaction. This is again a very natural reaction, and with time it will pass, but all the employees need to accept all this. Okay, so this is the coaching advice given in the second stage, that was anger. Now, if we talk about, we have talked about denial stage, we have talked about anger stage. Now, the next stage is bargaining stage. Okay, the third stage is bargaining stage. Then the stage of anger passes away. Okay, the most danger zone, when it has passed away, one may start thinking about ways to postpone the inevitable. Now they will bargain with the things, that the things, we all know that change is an inevitable thing. Okay, we cannot just hide from the change. We have to accept the change. But the employees in the organization, they start bargaining. Okay, they find the ways to postpone it, and they try to find out the best thing left in the situation. And what is the best thing for the employees? We all know that they will resist the change. The resistance is the best thing. They feel, the employees feel that the resistance is the best thing. So this is when you may hear your team members, they'll say, what if we do this? Or they can say, can I fit there, can I fit here? Okay, they'll need to test, and they'll need, they can explore what the change means. So they will do this more easily if they are helped and supported to do so, even if this is a simple matter of allowing enough time for them to do so. Right? So, the coaching advice given on the bargaining stage is that be open to suggestions, listen to your employees in the organization, be very open to suggestions, as this may bring some relief to those who are moving closer to acceptance. Okay. However, you all know, however, they may still resist by trying to learn only what they think is important. So make sure as an employer or a part of management, you set clear timeliness, you set very clear expectations. And in the stage, even you can hold workshops, you can hold trainings to ensure the change incorporated in your employees of the organization, that change is running very successfully. Okay, so productivity cannot be, we all know that productivity cannot be expected to be 100% during this phase, obviously, but allowing extra time in this stage can definitely pay off later. Okay, so this coaching advice will obviously help. You should always be very open to the suggestions of your employees. Okay, once you are very open to the suggestions, you know the employees will feel very relieved. Okay, the people who are moving closer to the acceptance, they will feel very relieved. However, obviously they will try to resist, and I have already told you, they will give you many options that what about this, if I relocate to next position, they will do this. But for suggestions, you should always be open. Okay, be open. And obviously productivity, you cannot expect your employees to do 100% during this phase, but again, you should give them extra time. And definitely this will, if you give them extra time at the stage, at the bargaining stage, if you give them extra time, then this will definitely pay you, this will, you can pay off it later. Okay, so these were the three stages: denial, first stage; second stage was anger; third stage was bargaining. So the next stages that we are left is depression and acceptance. Okay, and then we'll be discussing these two stages in our next presentation. I hope that the first three stages, denial, anger, and bargaining, is are very important to, are clear to you, and the coaching advices that are given are also clear to you. So this is all about for today presentation. So we'll be covering next two stages in the next presentation. Till then, take care.